No, they're not. Let me start by saying what I've been saying for the past, I would say, 5 years. A smart city is not about technology. It is technology enabled, but it's not about technology. A smart city is a city where the citizens, the visitors, and the businesses have access to services that they need in an efficient way and in a cost-effective and sustainable way. It means that you can get access to mobility services. It means that if you're an entrepreneur, you can have some value-added services that would allow you to prosper and grow your businesses and to actually share your ideas, to crowdsource ideas if you want to. So it is a broader definition that does not preclude itself to technology. And that is a very important distinction, which a lot of people are starting to make and to realize that, unlike when we first saw smart cities emerge, that understanding has developed and evolved. And now the way they see it is that it's a way of actually getting opportunities and developing opportunities for individuals and for businesses in a city. It really depends how you are leveraging and deploying technology and what is it that you're doing to make sure that there is no one left behind. Singapore has done some great things that I've seen here a few years in some of the community centers, for example, even though they were not called smart cities back then, but you would have computer terminals for people to transact. And these computer terminals, there were, students that would be there on certain days of the week to help the elderly who don't have computer skills to transact. And what was very interesting is that over time, the elderly got curious, developed computer skills, and start getting online. So that's an example, again, where you can bridge the so-called digital divide and make sure nobody's left behind. Speaking of the elderly, you can also use technology so that you can provide remote care, medical care that is, put sensors in apartments where elderly are living alone so that you make sure when their movement is less than the average pattern that their caretakers are notified and there's some kind of like a response, whether it's an emergency response or a regular response. So it really depends on how you use and deploy your technology rather than basically thinking about it as a dividing factor. It's a tool. How you use it is really up to you as a city manager or a policymaker. Social media and other ways of engaging the public could be very important in, first of all, gauging what are the top issues for the population, and therefore when you're doing your budget allocations, you're making sure that you're putting more resources towards those issues that are more important for the population. They could be also important in how you design some of these services, but one also has to be careful because although they give you sort of like immediate feedback and a pulse, of the population and how their mood is, it is also the fact that the people who are typically loudest on social media are the ones not necessarily who are the most representative of the entire population. So we always give the advice to city managers: monitor social media, understand what's happening there, what are the trends, what are people's issues, but at the same time, make sure that you're listening to a representative sample of your population.